सो हेलो गाइस, वेलकम टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल। आज हम पढ़ेंगे क्लास 11th इकोनॉमिक्स चैप्टर 1 इकोनॉमिक एंड इंट्रोडक्शन। पूरे कंप्लीट सॉल्यूशन देखेंगे एंड बिना टाइम वेस्ट किए लेट्स बिगिन। Choose the correct option. What is the science which studies human behavior and deals with economic problems called economic? From which Greek word is economic derived? Oikonomics. Who is known to be the first economics to have started studying economics as a separate science? Adam Smith. Who introduced economic as a real science? Adam Smith. In how many branches is economics classified by the method of study and analysis? 2. On which axis the independent variables like countries, year, rainfall, etc. usually represented? Horizontal axis. Who has written the book Principle of Economics? Marshall. Answer the following questions in one sentence. State the definition of economics given by Robbins. Economics is the science which studies human behavior as a relationship between ends and scarce means which have alternative uses, which is the focus point of Samuelson's definition of economics. Samuelson's definition focuses on choice, allocation of scarce resources, and evaluation of cost and benefits of doing so. Which are the three ways of representing economic information? The information gathered through economic study or analysis can be represented in the following three ways. Descriptive manner, by the way of data tables, by the way of graphs or diagrams. On which axis are the independent and dependent variables usually represented? Generally, independent variables such as time are represented on x-axis, whereas dependent variables are represented on y-axis. What is a pie diagram? Pie chart is a type of graph in which a circle is divided into sectors and each sector represents a proportion of the whole. The numerical data is proportionality covered into degrees in a circle and sectors are formed considering those degrees. Answer the following questions in short. Give Cautilier's definition of economics. About 2500 years ago, Kautilya, who is also known as Chanakya, discussed in his book Arthashastra, discussed the purpose of economic activity undertaken by a state and society. According to Kautilya, the intention of a human being is earth, wealth. The piece of land which has human settlement is earth, wealth, and thus the science explaining the purpose and utility of wealth creation on earth is called economics. Explain Marshall's definition of economics. Alfred Marshall, in his book Principles of Economics published in 1890, Alfred Marshall gives the following definition. Economics is the study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. The definition states that in everyday life, people usually aim for well-being. The definition explains economic as the study of routine activities of human beings and aims to explain how they achieve well-being from materialistic things. This definition does not have a broad aspect since it only focuses on the material well-being, yet it is important as it keeps human well-being at the center of human activity. Explain the difference between economic and non-economic activity. So आपको economic activity and non-economic activity में differentiate बताना है and 3 points काफ़ी होंगे. So ये हैं आपके 3 points. So फर्स्ट है इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी में एन एक्टिविटी परफॉर्म विद द पर्पस ऑफ ऑब्टेनिंग इकोनॉमिक बेनिफिट इन द फॉर्म ऑफ इनकम इज कॉल्ड इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी. सेकेंड पॉइंट है ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ मेकिंग इकोनॉमिक गेन सेटिस्फेक्शन ऑफ सम वेंट एंड इन्वॉल्वमेंट ऑफ एक्सचेंज एंड कॉस्ट आर इम्पॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ एन इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी. थर्ड पॉइंट है एक्टिविटीज डन बाय फार्मर, लॉयर, teachers, actors, government, etc. are all examples of economic activity. Non-economic activity, an activity which is done without the purpose of obtaining economic gains is called non-economic activity. Unlike economic activities, such activities do not involve exchange of benefits on both sides of transaction. Charitable activity or activities done out of love, affection, compassion, such as social service, mother teaching her son, etc., are all non-economic activities. Specify the difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics. Microeconomics is the study and analysis of economic at an individual, group, or company level. Microeconomics analysis uses the principle of marginalism to analyze how individual units make decisions in an economy, determining price and wages, equilibrium, output level for firm, etc. are studied here. Macroeconomics is the study of national economy as a whole. Macroeconomics analysis has helped to develop principles for managing resources in such a way that leads to increase in national income, inflation, and so on. Macroeconomic studies determining national income, unemployment, poverty, etc. Statistical information is necessary to know the direction and condition of growth of an economy. Explain. Economic and statistics go hand in hand. In other words, one cannot do economic study without making use of statistics. Economic establishes several theories of hypothetics. One cannot directly believe these theories and put them in practice. We need to test the validity of such theories in real life at different times and places. To do so, we need to gather information related to the established theory from real life activity at different times and places. Such information can be collected and presented in quantitative terms with the help of statistical tools. Information obtained from statistical analysis supports and confirms principles and theories laid by economics. This information also tells the direction and change in trends and growth or downward trend of economic parameters. Hence, statistical information is necessary to know the direction and condition of growth of an economy. Answer the following questions in brief points. Explain the definition of economics by Adam Smith and Marshall. Adam Smith. As per Adam Smith, economics is the study of the nature and causes of wealth of nations. As per this definition, economics studies the exchange of physical wealth produced by labor. Adam Smith introduced economics as a social science. The reason for this was, on one hand, he studied human efforts, that is, society, and on one hand, his methodology was scientific. Since the time of Adam Smith, economics was studied as an independent science, as not as part of general philosophy. He talked about human welfare in his book. Alfred Marshall. In his book Principles of Economics, published in 1890, Alfred Marshall gives the following definition. Economics is the study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. This definition states that in everyday life, people usually aim for material well-being. This definition explains economics as the study of routine activities of human beings and aims to explain how they achieve well-being from materialistic things. This definition does not have a broad aspect since it only focuses on the material consumption or material well-being, yet it is important as it keeps human well-being at the center of human activity. Question 2. Give the points of importance of statistical information in the study of economics. Economics and statistics go hand in hand. In other words, the importance of statistical information in economics is discussed below. So first, statistical information supports or confirms a principle. While performing an economic study, the approach can be divided into two parts. They are, first, the philosophy of economics. The philosophy of economics observed by human behavior, and second, scientific tools for economics. These tools are used to establish principles and theories. One cannot directly believe the established theories and put them in practice. We need to test the validity of such theories in real life at different times and places. To do so, We need to gather information related to the establishment theory from real life activity at such different times and places. Such information can be collected and presented in quantitative terms with the help of statistical tools. Example, based on the economic studies, a theory has been established between the causes and effects of rainfall and agriculture. By collecting and analyzing statistical data on rainfall and agriculture production in a region at one time or at different times, one can understand the cause-effect relationship theories established. Similarly, statistical data on price of a commodity and its demand can help to confirm the theoretical relationship established by economic between the two. Gives an idea about the changing trends of economic parameters. With the help of statistical data obtained under economic study, we can obtain an idea of the direction and magnitude of change in economic parameters. Example, we can know how sales revenue of a particular firm is changing. We can know how the trends of employment in a nation. We can know the trends of production in different sectors of an economy. For example, using economic study, one may say that agriculture production is failing, which is affecting national income, or supply of money is rising in the economy. Such data help government to make proper economic policies. People may also take benefit of such data and policies and change their production pattern to make comparative study easy. If appropriate statistical data are obtained, then we can compare several parameters over different time periods across regions and also across nations. Example, we can compare growth rate of India's national income between 1951 and 2015. We can also compare India's macroeconomics parameters like per capita income, inflation, etc. with those of other countries like USA, UK, China, etc. To make precise presentation of facts, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and this applies to economics too. At times, facts about economic parameters can be represented more clearly with the help of statistical data and graphs showing inflation, agriculture production, regional disparities in income, etc. can give clearer picture of their trends as compared their written description. Such pictorial and graphical representation can be understood easily even by laymen. Give an idea regarding Indian economic thought. Indian history and culture are almost more than 5,000 years old. So Indian philosophy depicts various aspects of our rich culture and human life and provides insights into a way of life. In Hinduism, there is a concept of Purusarth. Gujarat. In India, philosophy Purusarth means purpose of a human being, and it refers to the four goals or aims of a human life. These goals are dharma, rightness and duty, earth, purpose, benefit, wealth, calm, desire, moksha, liberalization. Out of these four goals, the activity of life done for earth benefits are the subject matter of economics. Thus, any activity done with the purpose of obtaining some benefit is called an economic activity. Earth is one of the four goals or duties of a human being to create wealth as a means of living and for material pleasures. About 2500 years ago, Kautilya, who is also known as Chanakya, in his book Arthashastra, discussed the purpose of economic activity undertaken by a state and a society. According to Kautilya, the intention of a human being is earth. The piece of land which has human settlement is earth, and thus the science explaining the purpose and utility of wealth creation on earth is called economics. Clarify the importance of economic. In a modern world, almost all goods of human needs have become economic goods owing to increasing use and scarcity, and thus all activities of human beings are increasingly becoming economic activities. Hence, the relevance of economics as a philosophy as well as a science is increasing in human life. Economics is important to understand behavior of human beings, society and state while managing everyday activities, and scientific theories and principles guiding professional decision making. The various aspects that show the importance of economics are discussed below. First, for understanding everyday behavior. Economics is useful for understanding everyday behavior of human beings, society, and state while managing routine tasks. Economics helps in understanding everyday behavior in the following ways. A. Understanding international events. Some international events affect life of people in several countries like USA, Russia, China, etc. For example, people try to understand why some countries are more developed and others are less developed. Today, a very large amount of data is available for various events and situations of the entire world. Studying this data helps to continuously improve technology and the scope of economics in everyday life. Understanding historical events. Knowledge of economics helps to understand historical events better. By studying historical events with an approach of economics, one can better understand the reasons behind wars, the entry of East India Company in trade for trade, and the establishment of British Raj, India's revolt against goods made in England during British rule, labor movements, etc. Second, economic importance. Decision making by individual people from all walks of life like household, lawyer, actor, singer and other try to get maximum gains from the efforts which they make. They try to manage their time and resources in an optimum manner to increase their gains. This means that they try to make such economic decisions that given them best returns. Understanding government policies. Knowledge of economics is extremely useful to understand various government policies related to taxation, wages, human resources, etc. Based on their understanding of these policies, individuals and firms take their business decisions. Professional decision making. Economics helps in knowing scientific principles and theories which in turn guidelines for making professional decisions. For example, revenue and cost as well as demand and supply are economic concepts used in all types of economic activity. Certain economic theories helps business in making day-to-day decisions related to price determination, wage determination, employment of various factors of production and so on. Economics also provides knowledge regarding the impact of certain decisions. For example, it provides insights into questions like what happens if price gets reduced in market owing to very high competition. Economics is also a science which helps individuals for making their daily decisions. Every human being in their lives play roles of a consumer, producer or laborer from time to time. Economics helps them to take logical decisions so that they can get maximum gains by minimizing cost. Answer the following questions in detail. Give an idea of the development of economics as a science in the West. Greek philosopher Aristotle gave his views on economics in his book Economica. With the rise of industrial revolution in the West, division of labor and specialization were introduced in the industrial sector. Under this concept, a piece of work was done by a worker or a group of workers who specialized only in that particular job. Owing to such concept and logics, the knowledge of philosophy started getting classified into various specialized science. Social science started getting developed as a special branch just like other branches of science like physics and mathematics. The methodologies of social science were no longer based purely open descriptive logistic. Studies under social science were now backed up with scientific tools and methods. Hence, studying human activities with a purpose was not solely a subject matter of political or social philosophy, but it also developed as an independent science. Adam Smith did a deep, thoughtful study on the creation of wealth and in 1776 wrote a book titled An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of Wealth of Nations. The book is popularly known as Wealth of Nations. With this book, Adam Smith developed economics as a specialized art of knowledge of the West. By adopting the theories and principles of economics, the industries started using the newly introduced machine and made huge investment for mass production. As a result, the Industrial Revolution created a new socio-economic way of life and new methods of wealth creation. Question 2. Graph diagrams area better method of precisely presenting economic information. Explain. On performing economic studies, several data is generated. The numerical data can be represented in different types of graph and diagrams. Diagrams showing linear and non-linear relations are quite common in economics. The demand curve is one such diagram. Some other types of chart graph diagrams used frequently in economics are bar diagram, group bar diagram, pie diagram, etc. So first, bar diagram. A bar diagram, also known as bar chart or bar graph, is a diagram which represents group data in rectangular bars. The lengths of the bar are proportional to the values which they present. Example, a bar diagram is produced from the data of production of what in India. So year 1970 to 71, 1980 to 81, 1990 to 91, 2000 to 2001, 2010 to 2011. Production lakh tons 23.8, 36.3 tons, 55.1 tons, 69.7 tons, 86.9 tons. Variable x-axis equals to year and y-axis equals to 0.5 cm equals to 10 tons. Representation of data in a bar diagram. 1970-71 is 23.8 tons and 1980 to 81 is 36.3 tons and 1990 to 91 is 55.1 tons and 2000 to 2001 is 69.7 tons and 2010 to 2007 how much 86.9 tons. So as you see that the production is increasing. Group clustered bar diagram. These charts are used when the dependent variable is grouped in more than one category. Example, we can create a clustered bar diagram if we want to study the literacy rate of males, females and total literacy of Gujarat for different years. Here we create combined bar diagram of three categories in a one group or 1 year. Bar for each category can be shaped or colored differently. Literacy rate in Gujarat in percentage. So year 1951, 1961, 1971, 1981, 1991, 2001, 2011. Male in percentage is 30.17, 48.73, 53.78, 65.10, 73.13, 80.50, 87.23 and female literacy rate is 12.79, 12.77, 29.00, 38.50, 48.64, 58.60, 70.73 and total is 21.09, 36.19, 41.84, 52.20, 61.29, 69.14, 79.31. Source: Socio-Economic Survey of Gujarat 2011 and 12. Variable x-axis equals to year and y-axis equals to 1 centimeter equals to 10%. So representation of data in a group clustered bar diagram. So 1951, so male का 30.17, female का 12.79 and total 21.09. And 1961, the male is 48.73, 12.77, 36.19. 1971, 53.78, 29 and 41.84. 1981 is 65.10, 38.50, 52.20. 1991 is 73.13, 48.64, 69.29. Then 2001 is 80.50, 58.60, 69.14. And 2011 is 87.23, 70.73 and 79.31. सो ये भी आपको एज इट इज सेम बनाना है, कोई भी चेंजेस इसमें मत करना. एंड देन पाई चार्ट एंड डायग्राम. पाई चार्ट इज अ टाइप ऑफ स्टैटिस्टिकल ग्राफ इन विच अ सर्कल इज डिवाइडेड इनटू सेक्टर्स एंड ईच सेक्टर रिप्रेजेंट्स अ proportion of the whole. The numerical data is proportionally converted into degrees in a circle and sectors are formed considering those degrees. Example, the contribution of different sectors, namely agriculture, service and industry in India's national income can be represented in a pie chart as shown here. So sector है agriculture, industry and service. share in national income in percentage 13.9, 26.2 and 59.9. So इसका आप अगर टोटल करते हो तो 100 आएगा. एंड रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ न्यूमेरिकल डेटा इन अ पाई डायग्राम. सो जो लाइट ग्रीन वाला पार्ट है वो एग्रीकल्चर का है एंड डार्क ग्रीन वाला जो है वो आपका इंडस्ट्री है एंड येलो कलर वाला वो है आपका सर्विस वाला. सो एग्रीकल्चर जो है कितना है 13.9% एंड इंडस्ट्री जो है तो वो है आपका 26.2% एंड द सर्विस इज 59.9.